The Michigan roads have just been beating the crap out of the F80 and it's time for a suspension refresh. So let's check out the KWs. All right, so do I even have a KW Haas kit or do I have a different one? I just kind of always assumed that KWs were yellow, but I really thought, guys, do I even know what I have? Do I even know anything? What am I doing with my life? Is this an M Performance one or something? The guy bamboozled me on accident? Am I just an idiot and don't really pay attention to things? Does KW make red ones? Well, looks like I gotta do some research. Classic Chris, here we go. Doesn't even know what he owns. Okay, and looks like that is an M Performance Haas kit. So maybe I just remember the words Haas and assumed it was KW, but yeah, looks like it's an M Performance one. So again, hit me up in the comments. If you want this, it's all yours. I'll be selling these. I don't really know how much a used set goes for. It is spring, so it's not like they go bad or anything, but I don't know, 800 bucks maybe? Who knows? Let me know. All right, so I'll put this down. And nothing's leaking or anything bad, but you definitely are not supposed to be able to push coilovers down. And they're definitely supposed to come back up. So, yeah, any real force, you actually can see. Now this might just be water in this. I was like, oh, that is fluid. But it kind of looks like it's just, it did rain this morning, so. Yep, these are toast. The rears are definitely nothing fancy. You just have to undo the lower control arm. It makes it a lot easier. And you just pop the spring in there. Now what we'll do is we'll set the strut in. We'll attach the strut at the top, and then we will press this arm up and in. And yeah, you'll easily be able to get your strut bolt through. So the rear's super easy. Each side probably only takes 15 or 20 minutes. Half of it's just looking for the right size tools. All right, so now that we got the rears all buttoned up, we'll jump to the front. The front's, not much harder either. You just gotta remove a few trim pieces. There's just some M10s back here. You'll pop this piece off. We'll remove this aluminum brace and the carbon fibrous brace. And that'll give us access to way too many bolts that now hold on struts. And pop it off. Let's get to it. So this side's pretty sweet. It looks like you could get access to all 5 of the top mounts, but I don't know what in the middle management decision this was, that you can only get access to 3 of these, and then they covered the plate with 2. Like they had all this room to just mirror, but now you have to remove the aluminum brace. You literally wouldn't have to if they just copied what they did on this side. So someone needs to get fired. All right, so the top is a deep 18-12 point, and we'll just, because this has the height adjustable, we'll just put the spring down. then it gets loose enough that we can take the top off, and we're gonna reuse the rubber grommet that sits up top here. I have no clue if I'm showing you any of this. Close enough, you get what I want. I can't speak, I'm out of breath. All right, so KW wants to use this top, or actually no, I guess I would say it's ground control wants you to reuse this upper one. So, bada bing, bada boom. What's the nut? And for now, just to get the top nut on and secure, just drop the spring way down. It'll give you nice access to the threads at the top. And then vice grips on the shaft. Use a rag. Tighten up the end of your vice grips so they're nice and tight. And then it's 22 mil on the top. And voila. Loosen up your vice grips. Pop those off. Drop your everything. And yeah, now we can kind of guess ride height. I have literally no clue, to be honest. We're gonna figure this out as we go. And yeah, okay. Now let's go drop this in the car. All right, so, yep, that's a coilover if I've ever seen one. So let's kind of set it in the middle. I'm not going aggressive with this setup as it is a street car. So camber, not aggressive, in the middle. So let's throw on the top bars and get to doing an alignment. All right, so we finished the alignment and I drove the car last night and I still noticed some pretty harsh bumps. I mean, Michigan roads are pretty terrible. I think everyone, where everyone lives, complains that they have the worst roads in America, but Michigan roads are pretty horrible. Over like normal driving, coilover's a bajillion times better, but on the hard bumps, I still noticed pretty harsh noises coming from the front end, and I just figured, you know, let's measure from full droop to where it's up now to where ride height actually is. And what we found out was basically I have about this much compression before it goes and hits bump stop. So yeah, basically any large bump, I'm just smashing bump stops, and that just never sounds good on the front of the car. So let's take a look. So actually, let's jump to this side first. So with my handy dandy tape measure right now, whoa, nice view. It's this much, right? On the other side, I actually use a tape measure, but for simplicity purposes, that much. And then we'll get up in here, and you'll see that basically from the top of the bump stop here to the bottom of the coilover is that much. Oh, gimbal's flipping out. Oh man. Oh, here we go. All right, so we have our super scientific measurement, and from it you can see the top of the bump stop to the actual bottom of the camber plate is about yay plus half an inch. So basically any bump, I'm just hitting bump stops immediately, and it's just causing a large noise in the front of the car. So yes, I like the look of having, you know, a nice low ride height, but for the sake of daily driving, we're gonna jack it up about probably another 1/2 inch in the front, and maybe 3/4 of an inch. I'm gonna try to go for like the 1 finger gap, maybe a little bit more. You couldn't see the top of the tire. You could basically just see like this part of the tire when it was on the ground, but we're gonna have to just go to a finger gap. So probably the only person in the world that gets coilovers and is raising their ride height, but it's a daily, and well, I want it to be as comfortable as possible. So let's go to that side and adjust ride height. Alright, so what you guys were probably just looking at my butt the whole time. The ground control has 2 positions basically, one for high camber and one for like street camber. So on the inside bolt there's no washer or anything, but there is this big washer for this bolt. And these are what clamp down the bottom of the plate, and they don't include washers, and you should space these 2 up a little bit, because the bottom, the actual part that rotates on top of the spring, if you don't use washers on these, they actually stick all the way through and interfere with that ball bearing. Yeah, good facts I found on the internet. So yeah, toss just a washer or 2 underneath, just space it to the same size as this thickness, and just reduce any interference. I would hope ground control fixed that by now, but who knows. Alright, so now that ride heights are up, we gotta give another alignment. So this is always the best part. So luckily it's not terribly hard. It's just kind of time consuming and a pain in the butt, especially if you're by yourself. But yeah, let's see, what do we got here? F80 on 19s. Yep. Measured 24 inches. She's just monster trucking now. Look at it. What are you doing? Alright, time to give it the roll. We got some work to do. Alright, so final numbers. If it was a race car, you know, I might make those the same. Honestly, with this, I'll never be able to tell the difference anyway. A little bit more aggressive camber in the rear, just helps grip up. I was kind of disappointed. I wanted a little bit less for the street, but the ground controls I literally couldn't pull less than negative 2.75, so it is what it is. But tow, we'll keep it at 0, just nice and neutral, and yeah, easy buttons. So let's get her down and go out for a test drive. Okay, let's see how many clunks we get. I hear a dust shield in the back. Anything? Oh, that's a clunk. God damn it. Fucking ground control's killing me. That one wasn't bad. That was the brake pedal depressor inside the car. Let's go over this nice fat clunk. Okay, not bad. Now let's just road is junk. Alright, I'm gonna go on the main road to see the steering wheel because this road is curved like nobody's business. Alright, so we've been driving for like a week now. Got a clunk in the front end still, so got some new bearings, rebuilding the ground controls. It's a street car, it does not need these, so I'm just gonna rebuild these and post them for sale. So if anyone's interested, hit me up. You get some fresh rebuilt ground controls for half the price of brand new basically. So let's press these in. Alright, so I've got the new bearings pressed in. And as you can see, this one is actually still, so these are what's called the F1 fit, so you can't move the bearing like with your hands. It takes a lot of force to move it. But this one, you can see it spins around. It's just a little blown out. I can move the ball a tiny bit with my finger, so you can imagine that the 1,000 pounds that the coilover supports, it really just makes this chatter a little bit and get the clunking noise. But they are rebuilt and hopefully going fresh out the door. Like I said, it's just, the F80 is a street car for me. These came with them used, so I just don't really need it. So, and yeah, I think we'll call it a video there. Here's a little sneak peek, I guess, of the next video that's going to be coming out. These are the crazy coilovers for my orange 1M. Totally custom built off the real GT3 race cars from the factory. So these are not your standard KWs. We'll get into that one in the next video. So until next time, take care. Peace.